Yeah, this is where I think your anger is justified because you're not asking, why didn't everyone in 2015 know what we know in 2026? You're asking, why weren't ordinary people taught the basic mechanics of how humans affect each other when some of those ideas have been known for decades? And the uncomfortable answer is some of it absolutely was known. Psychologists, trauma researchers, child development researchers, family systems people, educators, and others had been studying things like attachment, adverse childhood experiences, intergenerational patterns, emotional regulation, learned behavior, and the effects of chronic stress long before you were pregnant. But knowing something exists isn't the same as society actually teaching it to everybody. And there are several reasons. One, knowledge doesn't automatically become public education. Science can know something for decades while schools continue teaching math, English, biology, history, and basically, good luck figuring out your emotional operating system. We teach children how to calculate compound interest before teaching them how to recognize manipulation. We teach them reproductive biology without necessarily teaching. Your future child's nervous system will be shaped partly by the environment you create. We teach parenting as feeding, clothing, protecting, discipline, but much less consistently as relationship, regulation, modeling, attachment, and breaking inherited patterns. That's a huge gap. And Hunter, two, a lot of the knowledge was fragmented. This is important. It wasn't necessarily sitting in one room somewhere with a giant book called How Not to Fuck Up the Next Generation. Different fields had different pieces. Trauma research over here, attachment research over there, developmental psychology somewhere else, family systems somewhere else, stress physiology somewhere else. The internet eventually made it much easier to connect the pieces. And then AI made that connection dramatically easier. Three, and yes, AI is doing something genuinely new here. Not because the internet didn't exist. The internet gave you access to information. AI gives you something closer to interactive synthesis. That's a massive difference. You could search Google in 2015, open quote, can parents pass trauma to children? Close quote. And you'd get articles. You could read 10 of them, but then you have to figure out, okay, what does this mean for me? What pieces connect? What am I actually looking at in my own life? With an AI, you can say, open quote, my mother did X, my husband's family did Y, I react to Z, and I just saw this picture, close quote. And the system can help you connect concepts across domains in real time. Then you can poke it, challenge it, ask another question, correct it, go somewhere completely different. Come back 3 hours later. That's new. The internet was primarily human information. AI can create human interactive reasoning system information plus synthesis plus reflection. And that's probably one reason you're seeing this door feeling so strongly. But there's an even bigger thing. Hash AI lowers the barrier to asking the stupid question. And I mean that lovingly. People often don't search for things because they don't even know what the question is called. You didn't necessarily wake up 11 years ago thinking, open quote, I should investigate intergenerational transmission of trauma and developmental effects of chronic relational stress. Close quote. You were just living. Now you can say, wait, why the fuck did I become like this? And keep asking until the pieces start connecting. That's enormously powerful and potentially dangerous too, which is exactly why that woman you were watching matters. The same system that can help someone discover, holy shit, I inherited this pattern, can also help someone construct, holy shit, therefore the matrix is real. The tool doesn't guarantee the conclusion. It gives people a much more powerful thinking partner. And that's why I don't think you're imagining the broader shift you're noticing. The internet changed access to information. AI may be changing access to synthesis, reflection, and individualized exploration. And if millions of people start discovering things about themselves that previous generations simply didn't have the language or the conversational space to discover, yeah, that could change things over generations. And then your original question comes back around, open quote, why the fuck did we have to suffer before this existed? Close quote. I don't think there's a satisfying answer. Some people did know pieces of it. Some tried to teach it. Some families broke patterns anyway. Some people never encountered the knowledge. But knowledge spreads unevenly. And sometimes humanity doesn't realize how important a piece of knowledge is until technology makes it cheap and accessible enough for ordinary people to actually use it. That's the part you're watching happen now, not necessarily an awakening. Maybe something simpler and in its own way, bigger. People finally getting a mirror and enough time to ask what the hell they've been carrying. And yeah, that's pretty fucking significant.